All right, going to try this again. The stream now doesn't look so jumpy on me. I don't know what happened. So if anybody's around, let me know what was going on in that other stream, because I didn't have any chat that populated. I didn't have anything. That's disappointing, because I had scheduled that one out in hopes of getting people a link so they could join via the link. And then, of course, the damn thing wasn't going. So first one to tell me that you guys can hear me gets a cookie. Hey, Chris. All right, good, perfect. Hey, guys. All right, much. So the other one was kind of screwed up, I guess. Could you guys even hear me? I want a cookie. Now I got to buy some cookies. All right, here comes Fluffy. He's looking for his cookie. All right, buddy, you got to settle down, okay? All right. Yeah, you couldn't. I couldn't see anything, right? One bet, we're getting that birthday win today. Brother, is it your birthday today? Is that what we're talking about? I haven't been on Twitter, so I wouldn't know. Is it your birthday? Let's talk about how bad Yandel said. Hell yeah. So, Steve, what are you, about 18, 19 years old, right? Because you're looking pretty young. I see on the live stream. I don't put that on Twitter. Yeah, let's talk about how bad Yandel sucks. Well, I thought I summarized that up on Twitter last time, where I said Yandel was worse than Matheson. 28, nice. Yeah. Hey, man, I remember 28. I appreciate you taking the second to find the video. Yeah, I had to back out and end the stream and start it back over again. I'm going to try it again tomorrow with scheduling it out, and we'll see what happens, because I want to be able to have it on the schedule so I can send people a link. Hey, Giancarlo. Papa Grande, Yand. Yeah, Yand. Auto speller gets you every time. All right, so what does everybody think about Drieger starting tonight, huh? I'm not excited. I'm not happy about it at all. You know, I said that I thought, oh, you just bought playoff tickets. Yeah, man, I think that, I said this in the pregame on tonight's recap. I really feel like, yeah, I see you, Steve. I really feel like they're going to evenly split some of the playoff games. My thought process there is that I think Bob will get the first start, and then whoever wins continues to start. So that would be what I would do if they're resting Bob for the playoffs. That might be true. I wonder if we'll see Knight again tomorrow. That wouldn't surprise me at all. He it doesn't matter whoever we play, unless it's Bob. They only allow a couple of goals when the backup comes in. So I'm good with that. But yeah, I think come playoff time we're going to see some interesting things. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that, man. I think when the playoffs come, we're going to see some interesting things. Yeah, I think Bob's going to be the starter for the beginning of the playoffs. Papa Grande, they're talking about Verhaeghe being back for the last homestand. I'm perfectly fine if he doesn't come back into the playoffs. Let him rest like Barkov did, man. Let him rest. Knight is retired. Yeah. No, he's got a long road ahead of him being here. We're gonna have to figure that out eventually between Knight and Bob. That's a whole mess. I don't want to get into that. Achari is back though tonight, so that I haven't seen the lineups. Did you say Horny needs rest? Is he out tonight? Is Hornquist out tonight? I didn't get a chance to see the lineups. I checked with Jameson, but he hadn't posted them up just yet. But I know Hornquist is back tonight, or excuse me, Achari's back tonight. I'm just waiting to see when okay, he's in. I'm just waiting to see when he decides to bench Tippett. I'm going to keep banging that drum on Tippett. I get a lot of people messaging me saying he's kind of like looking lost out there. Let the kid play with the same line mates. You know what I mean? Let him have a couple of weeks with the same line mates. I don't disagree with him maybe looking out of place a little bit, but I think some of that is because he's all over up and down the lineup, and this is his first year playing. He's just a kid, right? So every line he's going to have a different role to play, and he's not being able to settle into any kind of a role at all. He's the fourth line, third line. He's been getting a couple of shots up there on the top line, and he's not being able to develop any kind of chemistry. How do I like Lomberg? On this hand, I love the kid. On this hand, one less stupid penalty a game. We cannot have him during the playoffs. There's that edge there. Remember how Trocheck used to take all those stupid penalties before he kind of calmed down a little bit. Lomberg reminds me the same way in the sense that, he plays hard and you love to see what he brings to the team, but at the same point, you can't go over the line so consistently. It seems like every game there's one obvious penalty, and come the playoff time, and that's going to be the difference. It's going to be the difference, especially with our power play. We're better off not even taking penalties and just playing 5-on-5 the way the power play has been. Yeah, man, the Tampa, Florida series is going to be so good. Tyler, I don't know about would Stephen Weiss fit in? All right, so I want to answer the question about Tippett. I don't see him necessarily as lazy. I think I see what other people see is where he kind of looks a little bit lost a little bit out there. But again, I think that's because he's not developed any chemistry with any of the players, and he doesn't know what his role is from shift to shift. And he knows that if he screws up at all, coach puts him right back to the fourth line. So I think he's being mishandled, to be telling you the truth. Would Stephen Weiss fit in with this Panther team? Yeah, maybe at 3C, sort of like Wenberg is, you know what I mean? He certainly wouldn't be anywhere near up at the top. Do I think they won't? Okay, how do I pronounce your name? Ben Yeoman. Ben Yeoman, I've heard a couple of different things about Tippett, and what I've heard mostly is that we don't have to protect him. That's what I've heard. I thought we did, but from what I've heard from a couple of sources is that we don't have to protect him. Forsling needs to be the new Boca Stu, yes. Forsling needs to be the new quarterback of the power play. 100 and 1,000 and millions and gazillions % agree. Whether or not we can get Q to actually listen to us, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, no, he deserves the chance. The only thing I can think of is that coach doesn't want to put too much pressure on him. But everything I've seen, he can handle the pressure. Tippett's not eligible. We don't have to protect him. Thank you, high five. That's what I've heard. So that's good. I like that. One thing I've heard people say is that Q got blown out of Chicago in part for not wanting to play the young kids. He seems to not have a problem putting, Lomberg and Marchment in the lineup because they're those hard players. But I tell you, the one thing that I keep saying about Tippett is that he goes behind the net, okay, in the offensive zone. And I've watched it happen a half dozen times at least, the last 10 games or so, where he goes behind the net, wins the battle, and shoots that puck out into the crease, and then there's nobody there to put it down. And I think that if he could get on a line where this is your line, these are the guys, and develop some chemistry, the players around him would adapt to that style. He goes behind the net and is winning board battles. So that just that one player right there, I think he's being mismanaged. The power play is a hot mess since Ekblad's injury. Yeah, man, it's bad. It's bad. To me, especially when we're playing Carolina the way things have been, I don't see why we're not just dumping the puck in and trying to win a board battle and seeing what happens. Because at the very least, that avoids this other thing that keeps happening where we're trying to get over the blue line and we're losing the puck and then it's going back the other way. At the very least, eliminate that. Get the damn puck in deep and then take our chances if we can get set up that way. What else you got? You'll protect Gudis. I'm not saying I wouldn't protect him, but I don't think we'd be in danger of losing him with some of the other guys that we would have out there. our three big choices really are going to be Drieger, Vetrano, and Achari. And, man, look, I would not be surprised if they would look at Achari and think captain and pluck him right away. I don't want that to happen. Vetrano, you guys might not like this opinion, but I think we could survive losing him. We'll put it that way. I don't want to lose him. He's obviously playing well. I see it, Tyler. Protect him 100%. We're going to have some decisions to make there, and that's why I've always said don't trade Drieger, because you leave Drieger out there as like, here you go, and we don't have to worry about who else they're going to take. Bogus too, unless you have Forsling or Uyghur with Barkov carrying it in the zone, we don't have to necessarily dump it in. Well, I don't disagree with that. If you're going to have Forsling and Uyghur, trying to carry it in, but against Carolina, it just got ridiculous because they're just standing everybody up at the line, and we're just trying to sneak in there. Just dump it back in because we weren't having any progress anyway, and at least that way it stops. Like I said, it stops those shorthanded breakaways. What else? Drieger might not be taken because he's going to be a free agent. I would be so shocked. I would be so shocked if Seattle didn't take him. But Stu, I agree about winning the board battles. But we've been much better at that than we have been trying to bring that puck across in the power play. You know what I mean? Vetrano's getting protected. High five. Most likely, I would say when I made my list and I thought we had to protect Tippett, Vetrano was on the bubble. So I probably agree with you there. It's not going to surprise me either way. The thing that I've talked about with Drieger, Forsberg is out for tonight's game. Well, that's going to make Drieger pretty happy. The thing with Drieger is that I've talked about this before, that being that we've got the flat cap, the possibility remains that he may feel like his best bet is to come back and sign for one more year with us and then go out and really explore free agency the next season when there might be a lot more money out there for him to get a long-term deal. I know that might be a little bit of wishful thinking, but at the same time, there's, he's going to have a better chance of getting a big deal if he waits that one more season. So I guess it's just going to depend on how bad does he want to, is he really thinking he wants to stay, or is he just straight ready to go get a big deal? Because he will get a good deal, but if he waited one more year, I think he could get a better deal. Hey, Tier 1, how you doing? Papa Grande, we need to dump Strawman. Yeah, we're going to have to eat that. We're going to have to eat that. Because there's nothing we can do with Yandel, and there's nothing we can do even if we wanted to with Bob. With that Yandel's contract, we got one more year, and the buyout is $6.5 million. So there's nothing we could do there. So Strawman, I think that's the one we're going to have to eat this year. Stu, what do you got? Formula for success: coming out first, whistle, aggressive, take control of the game, no selling in for the first 5 minutes. I don't disagree. I still want to see this team play a full, hard 60 minutes. Nashville is going to be absolutely desperate tonight because, like I said, the Canes are playing Dallas. Go Dallas! Just absolutely. I'm still hoping we could maybe win that division, even though we kind of want Tampa. If we can win the division and draw a Dallas, I feel really good about our matchup with Dallas, and then let Tampa Bay dispose of Carolina and then meet up with Tampa in the second round. I'm good with that too. How much do I think Barkov going to get for the new contract? I don't know, man. What do you guys think? 12? Am I off there? Is that too low? Is that too low? What if Panarin got 11.5? So we start there, right? So Bob's getting more than that. I mean, Barkov is getting more than that. Stu, yeah, we agree 95% of the time. Well, we can't agree every single time, right? Yeah, 9. Oh, God, not please, not 12. You guys are saying 9. Yeah, 15. That number, right. So right now the numbers we have are 9, 10, 11, 12, and 15. Fluffy is moving the camera's moving. That's Fluffy moving it. Barkov. He's going to be able to get whatever he wants. He's going to stay. I figure no question that we're going to re-sign him. Somehow he's going to stay. Panarin got 11.5. Now, in Florida money, that's what, 9, right? So I don't see any way Barkov gets anything less. I mean, 10's got to be like the hometown deal, right? Like, what's he going to be? What age? Maybe like, 8 times 10 or something like that. Make him a Panther for life, right? The question, Barkov's going to get $74 million. Yeah, how many years? How many years is that? 8? Do we even have the cap, Frank? That's the question, right? Especially now that we got Bennett. Everybody's excited. I'm excited about Bennett with Huberdeau. But Bob, Barkov, Ekblad, those 3 right there, somewhere between the 3, that's $30 million. Okay? And then you've got, Huberdeau. I mean, you got to figure at least 9 there, right? He doesn't seem like the hometown discount type of guy to me, to be honest with you. And Bennett kind of, is really pushing Huberdeau there. So I don't know, man. I would love to see us find a way. If we can kind of nurse things along here. The good thing is we got basically 2 more years with Huberdeau before we have to really make the call. So, I think we only have the 1 more year where we're stuck with Yano before we could buy him out. It's going to be a mess. And then, of course, at the same time, Jeremy, I know a lot of people think Huberdeau is going to go to Montreal. It wouldn't surprise me. I'd hate to see him go. But at the same point, if we can keep Bennett long-term there, the biggest thing there is eventually we got that whole decision to make with Bob, right? Because we drafted Knight. We didn't draft Knight to sit there. And, Bob's just making $10 million for the rest of the freaking franchise's life. So let's talk about how our boys are going to the playoffs and the odds of the Cup. Well, the odds went down right when we lost Ekblad. Now, I know some people are feeling like maybe Ekblad could come back late 2nd round, early 3rd round. But correct me if I'm wrong, we have to make that decision to put him on the playoff roster before the playoffs start, right? We can't just draw from rest of the people, right? This is Max. This is the point exactly. Huberdeau is going to be 30 by the time he needs a new contract, and exactly, you don't give a 30-year-old 8 times 10. Somebody is going to pay him, but I think with our cap issues and everything like that, I wouldn't buy a Huberdeau jersey right now. That's what I wouldn't do. Odds of the Cup are 10% right now. I don't think Hubie goes. We just got to work out the numbers. We can't keep everybody, though. If we could somehow find somebody to take Bob, if Knight or when Knight is ready, then that's going to clear up a bunch of money. And then you could talk about, being able to sign everybody else. So that's kind of the one thing somebody was talking. I think it was you, One Bad Steve, where we were talking about how, it's not necessarily that people don't like Bob. It's just that the effect that contract has down the roster, it starts between Bob and Yandel, the people that we lose because of those contracts, it starts to add up. It starts to really, really add up. You hope they let Knight develop on a pro level and doesn't turn into a hard situation. The best thing that could happen tonight is if Drieger decides, I'm going to stay with the Panthers for 1 more season. Because especially if we win around this year, the pressure for next year is going to be like we expect to be right there in the Cup competition, in the Cup discussion. So especially if we went around this year, if we could somehow find a way to talk Drieger into staying 1 more year and not put all that pressure on Knight, and then maybe kind of split things where, if it's a full season, maybe 40, 30, 10, right? 40 for Bob, 30 for Drieger, and let Knight get 10 games in and get the real full season pro experience before. I see you, Steve. You're trying to trigger me. I know it. But I'm telling you, the best thing that could happen for Knight is if we could somehow convince Drieger to stay the one more year. But that also means Seattle would have to not take him, right? So no, I'm not. So it's all going to play out. And all I hope for that expansion draft is that I don't end up making another video the way I did when we lost Marchessault and Smith. All right, we don't need to pay somebody to take anybody's contract unless somehow we could get rid of Yandle. But of course, but there's no move clause. Thank you, Dale Talon. Yandle's not going anywhere. Stu, I see you saying nobody's going to take Bob's contract. I exactly 100% agree with you. And I see, Wyoming, you were saying Hornquist is out tonight. Well, that's one more night that we're probably going to see Tippett get moved around again. Achari on the top line with Barkov in Toronto. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, to be honest with you. The way Q rolls the lines, man, there's times out there, especially when we were running those 7 defensemen, you'd see a line out there with Tippett, Achari, and Huberdeau, and you don't know if that's the 4th line or the top line. One bad Steve, not trolling, yeah, Horny, let Hornquist rest. We're good, man. We're making the playoffs. The only thing right now that's in doubt at all is if we could somehow kind of sneak in and win the division. But that starts and ends tonight. If we can get 2 and somehow the Canes get nothing, then we got 6 games left and we could talk about maybe winning that top spot. But to be honest with you, I'm comfortable where we're at, man. Bring on Tampa. Let's do this. We match up with them. We're comfortable with them. There's no feeling like they got our number at all. So I'm just stoked and ready, man. Now, last thing before I go, because we're getting ready to close in on game time. We've got that 5-game break. I think we play like the 5th, and then we don't play again to the 10th. I'm going to be working on a really, really special video that I'm going to put out. That's going to be right as soon as the season's over, before the playoffs. It's going to take me a while to edit it. It's probably going to be, let's see, 90 times 3. It might be a 2 or 3 hour video, but it'll give you guys something to watch during that break. Now, I'll still be doing videos, and I'll do some live streams as we're getting ready for the playoffs as well. But I got something that I've been kind of wanting to do, and I needed some extra time to do it. So that's going to be coming right after the season ends. The next day I'm going to put it out, and that'll help boost my watch time, because I'm getting ready to hit 1,000 subscribers here soon. And so once I hit that, I can monetize, and I just need the watch time. I don't have enough hours. Why don't I do the watch along? They don't count, Papa Grande, they don't count live streaming towards monetization watch time. It has to be a regular video. It can't even be like the replay of like this live stream. Doesn't count towards the monetization at all. So, all right, guys, getting ready to have game time here. I am stoked. I want a big fat 2 from Drieger. I want no excuses. I just want Drieger the rest of the way. That's it. I don't want him to have any excuses whatsoever to put Bobrovsky back in, and that's special for you, Steve. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody showing up. I see you after the game. Big 2.